Hi everyone, welcome to a new video. Today we are going to talk about drill down bar charts. We're going to use the parameter actions to do that. I'm taking all of this from the great Andy Kribble and the Flerlage twins. Not sure if I'm pronouncing their surname well, but I'm going to link all my resources in the description. So today I'm gonna build the chart that you see on the screen. So mainly it is a drill down bar chart. I customized it a bit, so I also added the rounded bar charts instead of the normal horizontal bars that we have by default in Tableau. This is just because I like them. I don't necessarily advise them for business purposes because they might be a bit hard to read, so it's kind of hard to see where the bar ends. But they're cute, so if properly labeled, in my opinion, they can be used. And as you see, we also have a background, so we're gonna do a bit of formatting. So without further ado, let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is creating a drill down bar chart. And this will be composed of 4 steps. Firstly, creating the parameter, using it in a calculated field, using the calculated field in the view, and finally adding a parameter action. So after connecting to our data source, we are going to go right into creating our parameter. We want our parameter to be a string, and that is because we're going to pull values from an existing field, which is going to be, for this dataset, category. So we are gonna name our parameter, set it to be a string, and for the allowable values, we're gonna choose a list and add values from category. So once we've done all this, we're gonna click OK, and we've already created our parameter. Up next, we are gonna use the parameter in a calculated field. So for this calculated field, we want to use an if-then statement that goes something like this. If my parameter equals category, then give me subcategory. Otherwise, it give me category. So subcategory needs to be a field that is hierarchically lower than category. That means it's included under category. Let me make an example. Category can be state, and subcategory can be a city within that state. So you need to choose 2 fields that look something like that. So now we are going to build our bar chart. Let's make it horizontal. I like it more. And actually, I'm going to use sum of sales, the brand new drill down calculation, and I'm also going to drag category onto rows, and that is because this way we can see more clearly which bars belong to which category. I like to visualize it like this. And now here it is. The parameter already works. So if we're happy with this, we can also just leave the parameter controller in the view, the one you see I'm using on the top right. But today we're gonna go a bit more, let's say, advanced and insert parameter actions. So we want to repeat what we're seeing right now in the view, the drill down, just by clicking on the bar. So we're gonna add a change parameter action, name it something like drill down parameter. Now we have just one sheet, so make sure that that sheet is selected. Choose our parameter and choose as target field the drill down calculation. So now if everything works correctly, once we click on a bar, we're going to have the same effect. So if you click on category, please give me subcategory bars. So we see that it's working, which is great. So what to do next? This is just my personal preference. I don't like that we have category repeated twice, both in the drill down calculation and in the category field. So here I'm gonna try a couple of things, and it's also nice to see what doesn't work. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna remove category from else, and I'm gonna say, so if the drill down parameter is category, then give me subcategory, otherwise don't give me anything. So you see, we only have subcategory for the selected category. However, you see that our action doesn't work anymore. So I'm gonna go in and say, why doesn't it work? All right, let's get out of here and try to fix this. So I'm gonna edit the drill down calculation and I'm gonna put it back to what it used to be. Let's see if it now works. And it does. So you do need this calculation to stay like this. If the parameter is category, then give me sub, otherwise give me category. What you can do, however, you can duplicate this field. I called it label here, and use the calculation that I just used just for the labels. So we're gonna add this. And now for just a second, we're gonna have the field twice. And we can just keep the drill down for the bars, but remove the header. So now we have the best of both worlds. The drill down works, but we also have labels that don't repeat twice. So we have to the left our category, and to the right, only for the selected bar, we also have subcategory. All right, now you will see me do a lot of formatting and a lot of playing around and seeing what works. So my logic here was, I actually want the category, so on these three labels on the left, to look a bit bigger, you know, to make it clear that if it isn't clear enough already, furniture, office supplies, and technology are higher in the hierarchy than the various smaller bars. So you can customize this the way you want. Sometimes I make these fields that are higher in hierarchy bold or thicker somehow, or maybe slightly different font, but up to you. So what am I doing in this section? I want to have a cleaner view. So there you go. I had all these vertical bars that were coming from the axis. So at the bottom, you see the axis. It goes from 0K to, I believe, 850K. So I don't want there to be both vertical and horizontal lines. So yes, you will see me play around with, should I keep these horizontal lines or not? By the end, I believe I decided not to keep them, to have just a cleaner view. So my logic with lines and grids is this. Does it help the user understand what's going on in the view? If so, I will leave it. If not, I'd rather have a cleaner view and a lower data to ink ratio. That's what they call it. So right now I'm dragging category to color, and I think this is nice. It's nice like this, and that's because it's, again, it helps the user understand, okay, all the orange bars are part of the same category. So now what I did, actually, just this can be useful for you as well. I tried to order the drill down calc, but it didn't work. I needed to order the label, and that is because the label, shows the labels. So that's the one you will need to order if you want your bars to be ordered, ascending or descending based on the sum of sales. And next, I'm adding a label. So my goal at the end is to get rid of the axis at the bottom. you can keep it, or you can even keep some more bars. It's up to you, some more grid lines. Yes, I'm going for a cleaner look. So here I'm actually customizing sales to have it be a currency, and I want the $sign to precede our label. So I did that by right-clicking on sales and choosing default option for the numbers. And here I'm starting out by removing the title. You see it changed immediately. We're on the axis. I right-clicked on it, edit axis. You can change the title. You can also change the frequency at which the ticks occur. So now it's every 100K, 100K. You can put it every 500K, or more frequently or less frequently. It's really up to you. There's a lot you can customize about axis. So in this next section, I'm gonna turn the background into a very dark gray, almost black, and customize the rest to fit this new background. All we need to do is to go on our sheet, right-click on it, choose Format, and go on that little paint icon and change worksheet background, as I just did in the video. And then you can choose some nice and bright colors. For instance, I picked lilac and cream and some bright pink, just to have them pop out in the dark background. But let's get to another interesting part, which is how did I create those rounded bar charts? I have a blog about it, so I will link that also in the description, but I will show you. Alright, so here is our goal, and have a look at what this looks like. On columns, I have measure values, and on the measure value shelf that pops up down here, I have sum of sales and sum of 0. So how do we get there? So we have our bar chart, and what we need to do first of all is to go to columns, double click, write 0, and we will produce the sum of 0. So what this does is it creates another bar chart right here, although it's almost invisible. It's right there. So we have two axes right now, right? One says 0 and the other is the axis we had before. So what we want to do actually is to pick measure values from the data field, the data pane, and drag it also onto columns. And then we are going to get rid of these first two, 1 and 2. Right, so all we have to do now is go to the marks card and change the mark type to line, and then increase the size. And here we already have, you see, these are rounded bars. They're actually lines. They're actually really thick lines. And what we need to do also is to trim our lines to the left. In order to do that, we're going to modify our axis and set the range to starting from 0. So a fixed range that starts from 0. It will not allow the rounded part of the bar to go beyond 0, so it will be actually straight on one side. And what I'm doing here is I notice that the label for the technology category doesn't really fit the screen. And that's because, again, the axis ends at around the value of technology. So all I did here is I increased the size of the bar to 100K so that it could fit. Lastly, I removed the title to make it cleaner, and I also decreased the frequency of the ticks. So I want the ticks to show every 500K. So that's it, guys. That's how you create a drill down bar chart with rounded bars and a dark background. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you next time.